Hello and welcome to this brief video demonstrating the capabilities of SAP License Management on the ServiceNow SAM product. The SAP Publisher Pack supports licensing for named users and engine licensing. For named users, we support both SAP ERP Central Component apps as well as SAP S/4HANA applications. The different types of named user licenses within these applications include professional, limited professional, employee self-serve, developer, enterprise management for professional use, for functional use, for productivity use, as well as for technical use. SAP engine licensing, or also known as packages, are optional applications that require additional licensing. Metrics include employees, contracts, transactions, and so on. Every engine has a unique license metric that's used to calculate its license position. If the engine is supported by SAP's own engine measurement process, the ServiceNow SAM product will automatically calculate license usage for that engine. However, if an engine is not supported by SAP's engine measurement process, we have provisions to allow you to manually enter license usage information for that engine using the self-declaration process. To start connecting your SAP systems to your ServiceNow instance, you will be required to deploy the ABAP or Advanced Business Application Programming for SAP, which can be downloaded from the ServiceNow store. Once the connection has been established, data is pulled into your ServiceNow instance from the SAP system. To see what that looks like, navigate to the All Application menu and search for SAP Connections. Here I've got an already pre-configured connection to a central SAP system that consists of several engines. We're going to open that to see all of the engines here. Let's connect to this engine here. Connecting to this engine will give you a list of all of the SAP system users, as well as all of the named user license types that are associated to those users. Where an engine measures transaction-based licensing as well, navigating to this tab here will give you all of the usage data associated to that transaction-based metric. Now that we have the data from the SAP system ingested into the platform, the next step is to create software license entitlements that effectively give you rights to these engines and the license metrics within them. To do that, we're going to navigate back to the Software Asset Workspace, into the License Operations module, which takes us to our software entitlements on the top. I've already got some existing demo data, so we're just going to do a quick search for all of my SAP licenses. And we're just going to navigate into any one of these. Let's go into this Application Developer License, which is a named user metric. As you can see, all of the supported license metrics are included here. Navigating to the entitlement record will give us some additional details about the purchase that we've just made. So the number of rights, the dollars that are associated to them, and if we so choose, we can even allocate these 25 available licenses to various users within my organization. And I can do that here within the user allocations table. Once you've created your license entitlement records or ingested them through a software entitlement import process, which can be found right over here, once that's complete, you would run a software reconciliation, which effectively reconciles your license entitlements against all of that engine usage data that we gathered once we established the connection. To do that, we're going to go to the license usage module here. And we're going to click on Run Reconciliation. And here you can select specific publishers that you'd like to run that reconciliation for, and just hit Run Reconciliation. Now, it's important to note that reconciliation automatically runs every single day. However, this allows you to run one very quickly on demand. Once the reconciliation is run, you can navigate right within this license usage module to your SAP Publisher tile. You can even pin it to the top. Click into the tile. We'll give you a list of all of the products. So that includes all the named user licensing as well as the transaction-based license metrics for all products as well as all versions for those products, including the license position for each of them. So here we can see we've got a number of products within the SAP portfolio. I can see any one of these. So if I was to go into NetWeaver Gateway, simply open up this tree here and go down to the number of gateways. and it'll automatically refresh the summary information on the right navigation pane. And it'll also give me my license position here. So I can see that I've got 500 licenses for this, for number of gateway calls per year, but I'm not currently measuring any usage within the engine measurement process. Similarly, if I go into named users, I can see all of the various named user license metrics here. So if I was to go into application developer, for example, it tells me that I'm compliant because I've got 25 licenses owned and only 15 being consumed. I can click directly into these 15 consumed licenses, which will take me directly into all of the users from that SAP engine that we were looking at earlier. In addition to seeing your license position report for SAP products, you can also look at any optimization and savings opportunities. To do that, simply go to this tile here for Software Asset Analytics and click on the Optimization and Savings tab along the top. Once the page loads, you can filter under Publisher Optimizations for SAP. And here we give you some immediate information for savings opportunities. So we'll tell you any inactive users that you have, including the trending associated to them. We'll also give you the users who haven't logged in within the last 90 days, any users that are locked out but somehow still consuming licenses, users that are without a named user assignment, non-dialog users, some role-based suggestions, and it will also show you transactions from users to determine whether there's any indirect licensing use cases that you need to handle. Clicking into any one of these tiles will take you directly to the records that are associated to them. So this will take us into the 253 users who have not logged in over the last 90 days. And of course, it'll give you some comparisons from a trending perspective. Obviously, I've got demo data, so I don't have a whole lot of trending to show you, but I can still show you the records, those 250 records for the users, the discovered users from the SAP engine who haven't logged in within the last 3 months. Finally, if you have SAP success factors in your organization, so this includes the SaaS-based access to SAP applications, we have a direct integration with SuccessFactors to ingest all of your assigned users and the usage associated to those users as well. Once that direct integration connection is established, you navigate to the SaaS overview within the same Software Asset Analytics tile, and you can go into the subscriptions assigned user summary. So clicking into that will give you a list of all of the SaaS applications that you've got configured and connected within ServiceNow, and I can simply filter on SAP to give me a list of all of the SAP SuccessFactors users. So in this case, I've got 3,700 users. I can click into any one of these users who have an assigned subscription within the SuccessFactors portal, and it'll give me last activity data as well as who that individual is. And based on that last activity, you can set thresholds for what you determine to be low usage. And once you've set that low usage threshold, it will give you recommendations for reclamation. So to set that threshold, you navigate to the All Application menu and search for reclamation rules, just right here at the bottom. And here you can see several rules are already configured for both installed software as well as subscription software. So in the case for SAP SuccessFactors, you can create a subscription software rule, which would look similar to any of these subscription software rules. So if I was to go into, say, Calendly, for example, which is another SaaS application, I can say that for my organization, the threshold for last usage activity should be only 30 days. If you wish to get more aggressive, you can go down to 15 days. And the idea here is that if a user hasn't seen any activity within their SaaS application within that defined threshold, you can have them notified. You can configure notifications and email language that would go back out either to the user, to their manager. You can apply workflow logic for approvals and justifications. And then you can even configure automatic reclamation if someone hasn't responded within a certain number of days within this option here. And once you've configured those reclamation rules, and just to quickly show you, we do support reclamation rules for SAP as well. So I should have a couple here for named user licensing, subscription software, as well as any installed software. Once you've configured those reclamation rules, we're going to hop back into the software asset workspace to see all of the reclamation candidates that have been generated as a result of those rules. So I'm going to go back to license usage, and I'm going to go to this removal candidates tab here. And here I can search for the product. So if I was to search for SAP, in fact, I think I have one here. So I'm just going to show all matching results for this SAP publisher. So I can see I've got a number of candidates that are ready to be removed if I was to open any one of them. So for example, this SAP application developer license that generates a potential savings. And these potential savings are generated based off the license purchase costs within your entitlement. So if I preview this record, it gives me a little bit more information, including the communication template that I can configure that will be sent to either the user or their manager. Once I click on reclaim all, or I can reclaim records one at a time, it'll generate that email communication if I've got that configured, or it'll simply go ahead and create a record for me to generate a task to remove those users from the SAP system. You can go back to the software asset analytics to see some well, as it says, some analytics around the potential savings that are available to you. So these are based on all of the reclamation candidates that are ready to be actioned. And then as reclamation candidates get actioned and users get deprovisioned or removed from various systems, both SaaS-based or engines or locally installed, that number will begin to uptick within the actual savings that have been realized as a result. So the actual savings is a subset of the available potential savings. You'll also be able to see your stale subscriptions broken down by your publisher instance as well here. So this really gives you the benefit of having a sort of a single stop shop for all of your SaaS applications rather than having to log into each one of them. So this concludes the demonstration for SAP license management on the ServiceNow SAM product, both for named user licensing, engine-based licensing, as well as SaaS accessible licensing for SAP SuccessFactors. For any questions, please reach out to your account team, and they will put you in touch with one of the ITAM solution specialists, such as myself. Thank you, and have a good day.